Holy cannoli! Hi, my name's Catherine Nolan, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to create an incredible cannoli. So a little bit of background information. First off, it takes from 2.5 to 3 hours to make these to completion, depending on your previous skill level. It yields about 30 cannolis on average. So a couple things to know before you start. You are going to have to use cannoli forms, which are metal tubes that will help the cannoli keep its shape while it's in the deep fryer. The pasta machine is next, and you're going to use this to get the cannoli dough as thin as you can. It needs to come to about 1/16 of an inch thick, and a rolling pin can't usually do that effectively anyway. And so you're going to use the knob on the side of the machine and start on the thickest and end on the thinnest setting, going one by one. You might want to flatten the dough as much as you can with your hands before that so that it doesn't crack because it is a dry dough. And then finally is the deep fryer, and the deep fryer needs to be heated to about 375 degrees, and it can fit typically 2 to 3 cannoli forms in the fryer in the inner basket. So make sure you fill that oil up all the way to the max fill line. Go ahead now and take out all of your materials for those wonderful cannolis. You're probably going to want to pause right now and then gather everything together if you're making them as we go through this. So first we're going to head on to the filling. The first thing you want to do is soften your cream cheese in the microwave. Takes a few seconds depending on what type of microwave you have. I usually go for about 15 to 20 seconds, and then go ahead and put it in your mixing bowl. Then you're going to want to whip that cream cheese on about medium speed for 2 minutes or until it's smooth. You're going to go ahead and sift in your powdered sugar. I advise doing it into a separate bowl and then adding it in quarters to make a smoother filling. And then you're going to blend in your nutmeg, heavy cream, and vanilla. And you're kind of finished with the cream, the filling. You can store it up to 3 days in the refrigerator, covered with plastic wrap is what I use. Now we're going to move on to the shells. So the shells, the first thing you want to do is sift together the flour, sugar, and salt. Then you're going to want to add your beaten egg and cut in your butter and mix that with a fork. Then you're going to add in your cooking wine. Side note, not a good idea to drink that. It's not drinking wine, it's cooking wine. Doesn't taste good. But add that in a tablespoon at a time. Then form a dough ball with your hands. Cover that with a kitchen towel and let your dough sit for about 15 minutes. And while it's sitting, go ahead and prep your workstation. I like to put down wax paper so that it's easier to clean up at the end. Go ahead and clamp on your pasta machine, set out your transfer tray, your egg whites, and extra flour. Then, once those 15 minutes are up, uncover your dough and take out a palm-sized section. As I said in the pasta machine description, try to flatten that as much as possible to avoid cracking the dough. Go ahead and roll out your dough to 1/16 of an inch, and then use your biscuit cutter to cut them into 3.5-inch circles, and go ahead and slide those through the pasta machine again to roll them into ovals on that thinnest setting. Then wrap your ovals around the cannoli forms and seal with egg whites. Go ahead and drop those 2 to 3 at a time into your deep fryer. Be very, very careful. You do not want to have that oil pop you. It can be very hot and burn. You're going to fry those for about 6 minutes or until they're golden brown, and then remove with tongs. And then our last bit is the filling and serving. So go ahead and fill your piping bag with your filling. I like to use a star tip because it makes a pretty accent. You can use a Ziploc bag and just cut off the corner in a pinch. Then pipe your filling into the shell from both ends. making sure to get it all the way into the center. And then garnish with whatever you want, really. I like to put mini chocolate chips on the end. You can put nuts on it, drizzle it with chocolate or caramel sauce, add powdered sugar, lemon zest. It's up to you and your tastes. I'm sure you'll find some great combinations. And that's it. You have finished your amazing cannolis. So I hope this worked well for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Thanks.